All right, now it's working. Hola, Alex. How's it going? I think that Streamlabs was giving some problems. I end up jumping into OBS Studio. Claro. Estuvimos en la Zbrush Summit. That was super good, man. All right. Okay. So we can. Let's see if I can put this here. Perfect. Muchas gracias, Alex. Hoy, sorry. Today, I think that we can work a little bit more in this guy. But I think I want to share a little bit my Marvelous Designer to Zbrush workflow, and I think that could be cool. I mean, it's a workflow that lots of people use, and so I'm not the only one using that. But I do a couple of things different, and maybe could be interesting. All right, so for this one, I'm going to leave this guy for a little bit. I will continue with this guy maybe on Monday. So let's take out this guy for a little bit. And let's take out this guy away. So marvelous. So, you know, normally Blender is awesome. Blender is I really like it. I use it more for concept art than anything else for now. I mean, I'm doing this short film in Blender. I mean, to recap, I'm working in a short film where I have two different creatures, rig and ready for animation. At the moment, these three guys helping me with animation. I have an environment and it's pretty much all there. We just need the anim and make the shot sculpt for it and shading the creature. So that's pretty much what I will do in the next streams, right? Continue shading the creature in Blender and see how much I can push something in Blender. That's something that I wanted to try for a long time. See how far I can go with Blender. Also at the same time I'm kind of learning Blender, so it takes a little bit of time. But it's amazing. I mean, some stuff is much better than Maya. It still needs a little bit of extra work for being a 100% production software, but it's very close. I think that it's very close. It's super close. So for Marvelous, something that I do a lot is, so let's say that we have a jacket, right? So everything seams, everything moves, looks nice, works. We have UVs for this jacket, so you guys can see that we have the patterns I did. And let's stop the scene. And if we go into UV editor, we have UVs, right? So this is very important, because what we're going to do, actually, let's do it with a simpler object. So if I open clothing, yeah, let's open this guy. Right. So here's when I see them all together, right? So the idea is that I can make how I make nice topology for something that is coming from Marvelous Designer, right? It's not very difficult. It's a nice workflow to work with it, and you can use my Blender, Zbrush, and Maya. Sorry, Marvelous, Zbrush, and Maya. So what I'm going to do is just with a piece. Oh, I mean. So we are going to delete these ones. Goodbye. All right. So I'm going to delete this as well. We'll leave that. We can always select all of these and pin the little pins. Okay, and let's Control K and unfreeze it. All right, so we have the t-shirt seam. Let's get a small seam so it gets nicer. Cool. Nice. All right. So we have the shirt here. So let's say that this is the mesh that we like, right? So what I'm going to do is stop the simulation. I'm going to export 3 meshes from here. I'm going to export the mesh as it is, right? All of these. So let's say at the moment I'm going to select all of these, file, export, OBJ. I put so export it here in desktop, shirt. I'm going to call it shirt underscore high res. Cool. Going to save. Always I export it unweld. Oh, you can export it in weld, doesn't matter for this. Unify UVs and select all patterns. Yeah, and you press OK and you export it. I already have it exported, so I'm not going to export it again. The next mesh I'm going to export is going to be this mesh, but not like that, like that, right? So I'm going to export this height res mesh as well as it is. You can put more. You have a way to put more resolution. So if you change the particle distance, you are going to have more resolution. Let's take out the. export that. So we are going to use this pattern, and this pattern is the pattern that we're going to use for make our new topology, right? We are going to do the topology in these patterns. So again, we select all of these, and file, export, obj. And this one I'm going to call it 2D underscore Kairos version 01. Save it. And the important part in here is that we want unified UV coordinates, and we want everything on weld, and we export in centimeters because this is the scale I'm using, and press OK and export it. Good. For the next one, we actually want to see the topology. You see that it's actually very high res, right? And because we're going to make a first pass in Zbrush of the topology, we're going to make a lower res version. So in this case will be something like, let's try 30. That could work, or we can go even higher. No, much higher, no, but maybe 40. All right, that could work. You can even, I don't know, you can even use a remeshing if you think that it's going to help Zbrush to know what to do, right? So you export this mesh as well. Again, same way, you select everything and file, export, obj, and in this case I will call it 2D underscore low underscore version 01. The current setup is the same setup that we did with the other one, unify UV coordinates, and weld, and I export in centimeters, so it's okay. I mean, for some assets you need to have a different scale, so maybe it's a 10% of that scale. In my case, it's 100%. Press OK and export it. All right, so now we have three meshes. We have the high res, I mean with the shape of the avatar, the high res with the shape just with the as a flat plane, and the low res as a flat plane. So after that we're going to go into Zbrush. And when we go to Zbrush, something that we're going to do is first taking the low res, right? So we're going to create a new plane like that. Going to import, and actually where I save it, to the share to the low, I think it's this one. All right. So this is the mesh that I exported for Marvelous, right? It's a low res to the flat shared. And the first thing that I'm going to do is the only thing I'm going to do here is make a zero measure, just to get some cleaner topology and trying to get it as low as possible. And we can go even, we could get a better result than that. Sometimes I start to play between just zero measure and alt zero measure, and other times I use legacy because sometimes I get better results from legacy. Let's give it a try. That's no better, and that's no better. Okay, no legacy. Try that. Let's try again. I start to like it. Let's try to go a bit lower. Alright, I like that. Something like this, right? Doesn't matter, don't need to be perfect. It's just a starting point. So when we have this, we're going to export it, right? And in my case, I will do this in Maya. So I'm going to export this mesh. Export it here in my desktop. And I'm going to call it share to the low underscore retopo. All right, so we hide export. We're going to Maya. Oh, shit. All right. So this is my high res, right? I'm going to bring my low res, my retopo low res. So where I put it? Here we have it. All right, perfect. So we are going to center this in the middle, there. We're going to make this one live, and we're going to start to make nice topology. So you can see that, I mean, you can start to clean up a little bit this one, you align some edges. Something that I like to do is, sometimes I don't need to do the two sides, right? I can do only one side. I can, you know, delete this one, just work in this one, and after duplicate, flip it, and that's it. So I do something like that. And I will probably have this edge, bring this edge here, bring this one here. Let's say I like that, right? And I will do that with every piece. Something that is important for me is trying to keep, if I'm going to trying to keep this span, right, and the other span that goes next to it as aligned as possible. So probably I will take all of these ones and I will just, you know, kind of something like that. Boom. And I will do that with all of them. Same with the sleeves, same for the belt. It's pretty much same for everything. So when I finish with this, right, what I'm going to do is take my retopo mesh. In my case, it will be this one. I don't really care about the triangle there, because as soon as I subdivide this mesh, I will get a pole, and I don't mind to have a pole there. So if I subdivide this mesh, I will get subdivide this one time, right? So I will get a quad. So I don't really mind to have the pole in this case. There, for me it's fine. For what I'm doing with this mesh, it's going to be fine. Also, something I want is to have the mesh, the topology as even as possible, always as even as possible, because this is going to be sculpted later, right? So it's better to have as even topology as possible. So when I have this ready, what I'm going to do is I will take this mesh, and you can check that my UVs this is the UVs of, okay, so it's one step more. So let's say that I don't have UVs for this guy, so I'm going to delete UVs, right? No more UVs. My retopo mesh doesn't have UVs anymore. Let's bring the UV window here. But the one that I have live have UVs. So that's why I need this one, right? So what I'm going to do is take the line mesh, that might be this one, and transfer the UVs to my retopo mesh. And I'm going to do this by workspace. So I'm going to go to mesh, transfer attributes, and we will go into world. I just want to transfer the current UV set, and I just press transfer. I will delete the history, and now my retopo mesh have the same UVs. That's perfect, because that's what I need to do next, right? Next step will be to take this topology and make it look like the Marius Designer topology. You see that, I mean, this one was a very fast seam, and I seam it with another stuff in top, because the only thing that I wanted from here was the area in the west, and a little bit of what was happening with some straps crossing over. So I didn't really mind have a little bit of this happening, because at the end I will sculpt all of that in Zbrush. So whatever is broken, I don't really care at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the new topology mesh. So we can hide we don't need anymore the high-res 2D mesh. I'll select this one. We're going to select the we are going to select the Marvelous Designer mesh and select the retopo mesh. And we're going to go to mesh transfer attributes, and we're going to transfer by UV, and we're going to transfer the point position, and we're going to apply it. Nice. We're going to delete the history again, and now you can see, oops, that we have the topology in place. Hi Santiago, yeah, I speak Spanish. I'm from Argentina, so yeah, I speak a little bit of Spanish. Well, a little bit. I speak a lot of Spanish. Thank you. I'm very glad that you like it. Now I'm just showing a little bit of a process of how how I do some fast topology for Marvelous Designer and topology that I can make it work for production a little bit. So what I was saying is, when I have this mesh there, now you will notice that all of these panels are not weld, right? Oh, sorry, I touched the... Ah, sos de Córdoba. Mi pareja es... my wife is from Córdoba. Córdoba capital. Okay, so you guys can see now that all the panels are detached, right? And having these panels detached, what we're going to do is just merge them. So we're going to select this, come here, merge vertices, and try to don't merge vertices that are somewhere else, right? Where is this one? What's going on? Go away. Okay. Merge them and we do all of that around all the model. I mean, I like to go because it's very low. I like to do vertex by vertex. You can always, you know, select the seam and merge it together. But sometimes I notice that I end up taking a point from somewhere else and it's merging 2 points together. So and I finish all the process, and when I finish the process and I notice it, I need to do all again. So I prefer to do it one by one, just because it's very low res, right? So it doesn't take that long. So I will merge all these points, and when that's done, I will get something like this guy. Hopefully, it's the one that is done. Yeah. So we don't need this guy anymore. Can hide it. I will replace it with the one that is already done. This guy. All right. So when I have this guy done, you can notice again that UV is still the same. Everything is still the same. Nice quad topology. And here is the... No. We need the high-res Marvelous Designer mesh. That might be this one. Yes. Alright. So this mesh bad topology. It's not nice. Oh no, it's not this one. It's this one. Sorry about that. All right. So we have the triangle topology, marvelous designer topology. We have is only one side, right? And we have our nice quad, very low res topology. So what we're going to do now? Now what we're going to do is we're going to leave this here because we need it. We don't need this. We're going to mesh, smooth, and here we're going to choose how much we want to smooth it. Normally, I smooth it as much as I need to get marvelous designer details, right? So I believe that with 4 subdivisions, I'm going to be fine. So if I do 4, very important, this smooth shouldn't affect the bees. So always go, when you're going to do this, you don't want to smooth anything, so do not smooth. Don't smooth the map borders. Now you just press apply. Done. Good. Now what we need is to bring marvelous designer details here, and you can do that. You could project it in Zbrush, but that's not the point, right? So what we're going to do is take this mesh, take this mesh, and so the marvelous designer to our retopology smoothed mesh, and we're going to go into mesh, transfer attributes, and we're going to do it by UVs, and we're going to transfer the vertex position, and now you're going to press apply. And done. So everything that happened in Marvelous Designer, now I have it in a nice clean mesh. And that's what we want all the time, right? That's perfect. That's what I want. So next step will be to take it into Zbrush, make a full cleanup of the mesh, make all the extra details that you want, and after you do that, what you can do is make it double side, and that's it. That's all. So let's take a look into Zbrush and see how I end up. Very important. You want subdivision levels, right? So before you take it into Zbrush, just extrude this one. I'm going to do it very fast, just because it takes a little bit of time. Now I did it a bit heavy. So you can extrude this one inside, like that, right? Because you would like to reconstruct subdivision levels, right? So let's reverse the normals. So at the moment you actually want to reconstruct all the subdivisions from Zbrush, so you can get a very low res mesh as well. And depending of how much you want to reconstruct it is the amount of edge loops that you're going to add in between. Sorry, it's not doing a good extrusion there. Let's see what happened. Let's try again. All right, let's try again. All right, it's okay. I will fix that. Oh, okay. Alright, that's because this mesh is not the one that I finished perfectly. It's alright. Let's see if we can. Yeah, you see, this mesh is one of the meshes that I didn't finish to clean up. Alright, let's do something to fix it fast. Do this. Oh, that's why. That's why it's so slow. We should delete the history. Okay, let's try now. Alright. That will be fine. Alright. Let's move this a little bit so we get that space. Good. Now we should be fine. Cool. So we extrude this a little bit. Nice. We reverse normals. Perfect. And now we're going to add, depending on how much subdivisions you want to go, how much low res subdivisions you want, or how much times you want to reconstruct the model, is the amount of spans that you're going to put in these extrusions. So in my case, just because I don't need a super low res, I think that will be fine with 8. I think that should be 8 or 9. Actually, a good way to solve that is to, if you take a plane, for example, and you want to know how much subdivisions you want. So you take a plane, take out the divisions, you put a smooth deformer, and you can see how many divisions you need to get into that subdivision level. So let's say I want 3 subdivisions from what I have. I will need to add as much as, how many loops? 7. You can add more. I mean, depends of sometimes Zbrush doesn't like it that much, so sometimes you need to try a little bit. I found out in another versions that was working better, but in the last versions I was having some problems with it. So sometimes I need to try a small piece and go back and forward a little bit until I find why Zbrush doesn't like it. But you know, in this case, I think that if we add 9, we are okay. Or 7, sorry, 7. We can make a try later and see how it goes. Just make connect, and I'm just going to put 7. Boom. Nice. I will do that with all the edges everywhere, and I will take it into Zbrush. And I think that I already have a mesh where I did this. And in this case, I think this guy. Hopefully, yeah, double side. So it's this guy. So this is the mesh that I clean up a little bit in Zbrush. I bring it here. I did the double side, and I bring it back. So let's export this guy. Oh, needs to be in the right pose, right? In the right position. We do this. Export selection. We go to desktop. I'm going to save it here. Shirt underscore double side score version 001. Export the selection. We go into Zbrush. We're going to import it. Version 1, open. And here we have it. And now we can reconstruct the subdivisions. Boom, boom, boom. We have a shirt. How cool is that? So in this case, this one I did for being able to reconstruct everything. So I can go to the first subdivision level I had. So that's pretty much, that's how I work with Marvelous Designer, Zbrush and Maya. It's pretty simple really, and it's not very complex, but I don't like to have very heavy meshes, so I will never work from the high res mesh. I will always try to create as low as possible and start to work from there. The lowest possible for in this case, I think that this is way too low, but for what I was doing was good enough. I think that a good low will be, I think something like this will be fine. Even a little bit less, but this is quite a bit low, right? I mean, if I have a mesh that have more details and stuff, and it's stuff that I want in topology, well then I will not work this low. I will have a little bit more of geometry, but for what I'm doing, it's good enough and was faster. The lower this the topology, the faster that you go, right? All right. Hope you guys like the trick or the tip. All right, so let's go for do some sculpting. Sculpt a little bit. I need to finish this character. And I have some references for this guy. Trying to find my reference library. I don't want to play now. Ah, here we go. Okay. Try to get the flow first. How it's going to look. Have an idea of what's going to happen with this guy. this. Nasty. He's having some kind of transformation in his face. Right? Need to figure out a nice way to lend his human parts with part of his transformation. Hey, Adrian! How's it going? How's it going? All good, man? You guys go to preferences and draw, and you take this into 0 for solutions. And I know, it's so you can dream with me, man. Now it's better? Sorry, I was drinking water, so I forgot that I had the mic. How's it going live? All good? How's everything with the coronavirus in Argentina? We are all trapped. Bye. Have a nice evening, Neyman. So if we can start to merge a little bit the shapes, need to start to work a bit faster. Just trying to get a bit of a flow. I don't need to go super detailed in this guy. Don't go crazy. Doesn't need to be super realistic or nothing. It's just trying to get something interesting. Just want to make it feel fleshy. Gracias, Santiago. Yeah, this character is it's a character that I'm building for. It's just a proof of concept. So the idea is to build it fast. It was a mix of Marvelous Designer with a bit of Blender, a bit of Maya, a bit of everything. And I'm trying to finish the sculpt of the face so I can jump into Substance Painter maybe in the next streams and make a bit of texture work. The character doesn't need to be perfect. It's just, as I say, it's a proof of concept, and that's all. It's not for production. I always like to mix a little bit of. I mean, I don't like to go always inside to create the wrinkle. I mean, I always like to go as well a bit outside, so I get the some sharp edges. It always works in a like a nice contrast, right? So if I use FormSoft to take some of the shapes out. No, just as I say, because this guy doesn't supposed to be a realistic portrait or something like that. I can take some, can cheat a little bit. See if it looks cool. If I like it, I keep it. If it doesn't, I just smooth it a little bit and try something different. That's the nice thing about the stream, right? That you can, people can see how you struggle, right? And I kind of like that. Start to like this. Like it from close. I don't like it that much from far away. I need to start to blend stuff together. And this guy needs to be asymmetrical in the eyes. If not, it's something that jumps too much. If I'm going to have that kind of detail there, it needs to be asymmetrical. If not, it's going to be too noticeable. But he's not. So I'm going to get a bit more of volume on this side. And maybe we're going to take out a bit of volume from here. Because the eye makes pressure to the sides, right? I need to put the eyeballs in the right place as well. Alright. He needs to be asymmetrical. Recap a little bit. Let's break up a little bit the things, the wrinkles there, and maybe we need brush a little bit there as well. Let's take this guy here. Something that contrasts in the eye, breaking it up a little bit. I don't hate it. I will hit it tomorrow probably and change it. But let's see how it goes. Let's continue a little more. Yeah, maybe something like this could work. See, I would like to have this side a little bit more. That. So we break a little bit the symmetry. Still not convinced, but normally flow under the eye goes this way, right? Let's say if we can. From soft. A couple of wrinkles to accentuate them. All right. Not salt. Don't like it. And make this one. That's all right. All right. I will polish it a bit more later. But now let's try to keep the top of it a bit more. All right. See how it looks, everything. Okay, I need to do the other eye, but apart of that, I still don't like what's happening there, but maybe I will fix that next time. Still think that, needs to look better. It looks a little bit, I don't know if it's that it's messy. Let's see. Maybe we need to unify some stuff there. Yeah, it kind of works. Kind of works. Cool. Okay, guys. Hope you like it, and the Marvelous Designer tips for today. Please, if you like the stream and you want me to do more, like and subscribe. That will help me a lot to continue getting more content. I want to be as constant as possible. Thank you very much, and have a great evening, And on Monday I will stream again. So see you on Monday. Bye. Thank you.